What's going on, everybody? In case you did not hear, the Prelude, a way to get into your My Career journey early, on September 9th was announced on Friday morning by 2K for NBA 2K17. We're going to go through this entire trailer and talk about this whole thing. It sounds dope. As usual, when a big time trailer comes out for one of these games, I like to let the entire trailer play. Obviously, we don't have the sound. We don't need any sound. There's very little conversation or anything at all in the trailer itself. For those of you who have not heard, on Friday morning, 2K announced the Prelude would come out on September 9th, which is 7 days ahead of the time that the actual game will release for pre-order customers. It's also a day after the My NBA 2K mobile app releases that will allow you to scan your face on a iOS or Android device. So all of this is starting to work together like a little chain, right? On September 8th, you scan your face, you do whatever you need to do in terms of hooking up little accessories. You basically create your character on September 8th. On September 9th, you come back in to download the Prelude. The Prelude is 10 gigabytes and it is free. Total free, right? So it's crazy what they're doing with this. And I'm going to talk about some potential problems that could arise. But for right now, we're going to talk about the dopeness, right? All right, so you pick a college, one of 10 schools, and you decide, where you're going to go, and you play through. It seems like you play through a college career. I don't know how many years you play. I don't know if it's just your senior year. I'm not sure. But you play through. And so there's going to be several different college moments and things like that. You'll see some snippets of My Career scenes that you'll see once the full game is released. But essentially what this is for is for you to build your skills, build up your My Player, and get prepared to go ahead and just go through the entire experience that you go through every single year. It's something similar to this was done back in 2K10. They had the scouting combine, but obviously it sounds like the Prelude is going to take this to the next level. Along with creating your likeness, what you're going to be doing is, like I said, building up attributes. You pick the type of player you want to have. As you can see from some of these screenshots, you'll also be able to pick the type of player. So if you are going to be a pass first point guard, a lockdown defender, or a glass cleaner, all of these different types of things, you're also able to select your body type, which I talked about and asked for and wanted. Now, we don't see just how much of the body type you're going to be able to change, because I'm still a little bit worried about this part, because I didn't see anything where you can change like midriff or chest width. I see you can do shoulder width and obviously wingspan and height, but I'm wondering about the other aspects of the body. How much freedom are we going to have in regards to altering those things? But it's good to see that there are going to be some different body types involved, and it's apparently going to have some effect on the actual gameplay itself. As I mentioned, there's going to be sneak peeks from the My Career journey, scenes with high school coaches and all of that. And so I'm sure there's a full overall total presentation kit for all 10 schools. So you'll get the authentic jerseys, courts, and that sort of thing, I would assume. And I thought it was an interesting quote from Alfie Brody, the Vice President of Marketing for NBA 2K. It said the incredible excitement during the first week of NBA 2K16's launch showed us that there was an opportunity to connect with even more fans prior to the formal release. So they think that we've given our passionate community something special with this year, and they can't wait to see the response from not only existing fans but from new ones as well. So I mean, the fact that this is free is really kind of crazy. That's really deep there. I mean, a 10 gigabyte, basically almost a full game, basically you're going to be getting for free, and it leads right into your My Career. The Prelude is also going to include 2KU, which they've had before, but this year is going to be voiced by Mike Krzyzewski, Coach K, from Duke, Team USA Basketball. Oddly enough, Duke is not one of the teams that you can choose. So I thought that was interesting that that's the case. But it kind of led into a little bit of a clue At the end of this video, there's a conversation where the character that's on this game, on this particular trailer, his name is Troy Manning. He gets a phone call from Coach K's representative. And you'll notice they don't say Coach K from Duke University. They say Coach K of Team USA basketball, which tells me almost positively it's leading into the Olympic aspect of that inclusion in NBA 2K16. Now, is this just going to be for my career, where making the Olympic team, which is something that I also asked for on a wish list, making the Olympic team is going to be part of my career journey? I'm almost positive that's the case right now. But where else is that going to be in there? So it's clear that's going to be a part of the whole thing. So maybe you get a chance to be the lone college player on the Olympic team. I don't know. It'd be really dope if every 4 years you got a chance or an opportunity to go back and play for the Olympic team with a chance to win gold. That would be sick. But I don't know if they're going to do that or if it's just going to be just at the very beginning. So, like I said, that's pretty much confirmed, I believe, with this trailer. We'll find out more in the next few days for sure. Now, one potentially overlooked aspect of the news that 2K dropped on Friday was about historic rosters or historic teams. For the first time that I know of, I can remember, they're actually offering some DLC that is all-time great teams from those 10 colleges. Okay. I actually got into, I'm a little bit too old to have Twitter beef, but I got into a little thing with a guy today, and I don't know why the guy took it so seriously. He just really went kind of off the deep end with it. But he was making a point that, and it was so funny because this kind of thing was weird how it went. But he was making the point basically that you shouldn't have to pay for extra teams. And I totally understand, and I hear where you're coming from with that. But I personally don't have a problem paying DLC for teams and for historic teams and stuff like that. That's just how I love to play the game. So if you have that, I'm gonna do it. It's really no different than like in WWE 2K, where you can unlock all of the wrestlers if you want to, but if you buy the accelerator and the season pass, then you get it all right then. And I usually choose to just go ahead and get the season pass because I want them all right now. If the value is there for me with the DLC, I don't have a problem paying for it. Just usually the value, the stuff that they offer in DLC, I'm just usually not interested in. But I've always said, and if anybody can remember older videos of mine, I've always said that if it's historic teams and adding stuff to rosters, that's the type of DLC that I would pay for. Now, some people say, hey, no, put all the games on the disc. I feel you, I hear you, but at the end of the day, y'all, this is still a business. These companies are in business to make money. Why would you give away something that you could sell? That just doesn't make good business sense. I mean, if any of us created a product, now we're the ones that create the product, right? If we create this product, we could give a portion or some aspect of our product away for free if that's what we chose to do. But if that's not what we choose to do, we're not obligated to do it just because the consumer would like it. I bet you would like to get a part of the product for free. But that doesn't mean that the company has to do it. And here's the thing. If you really think that it should be free that much, then you have to exercise your right as a consumer and don't buy the product if that's how you feel. And if enough people agree with you, then you know what'll happen? That company will be forced to have to give you this for free because this is what the demand is. It's all about supply and demand. If there's a demand for this, if enough people buy this DLC, it will continue. Same thing with MUT. I personally don't dig spending real money on virtual cards to play against people in a game so I can say that I got the best team. I just don't, I very, very rarely will ever spend any money. The only time I'll ever do it is if I got a video I'm trying to make and, that makes it cooler or something like that. But for the most part, I don't dig spending real money on a virtual game. But here's the thing. I don't condemn the concept. I'm not mad at EA for collecting money for MUT. I'm not mad at NBA 2K for collecting money for VC because it's business. There's obviously a huge demographic out there that is interested enough in doing it. So how can I get mad at the business for capitalizing on the demand? That's business, bruh. That's business. So I had to get that out because the little fella kind of just irritated me today. You know what I'm saying? And he one of those cats that want to tell you away from, I'm from Brownsville. So what? I don't care if you're from Greenville. That doesn't mean that you're right. That doesn't mean that we have to agree. It's just whatever, man. But that's a rant that I usually don't go on, but I gave y'all a little bit of taste of that. But at any rate, the Prelude sounds dope. You know what? And the Prelude sounds dope. You know what? I'm going to buy the VC. I'm going to buy the DLC. I'm going to do it. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about the Prelude. Does it sound as dope to you as it does to me? I'm loving those all-time teams. I talked about doing that, a roster, even doing something like that. So I would love to know what you guys think about that. And also what you think about the little rant I said. I know a lot of people want the teams on the game. I get it. But does anybody see where I'm coming from with that from a business standpoint? Let me know. At any rate, I do appreciate you watching. As always, God bless.